So I just walked home from Maine, and it feels great. Got a week off. Just wanted to show some stuff that I've mailed home that I didn't really need. So I mailed home, this is that little chest strap that I have. I basically had it stuffed with a bunch of stuff that you'll see. I took the chest strap off my pack. I found that I didn't really need it. It wasn't helping. Well, it didn't make it more comfortable. This is all miscellaneous first aid stuff, just extra stuff that I didn't need. Some extra guy lines for my tent that weren't doing much. Tick key, it works great, but I have tweezers, don't need both. Don't need antibiotic ointment. Sent home the stuff sack for my tent poles. I just put the tent poles in as is. No need for this. Extra carabiners and gear ties that I wasn't using, extra rubber band. The mini baskets for my trekking poles, found that I didn't need them. Cut off another 5 feet of line for my bear rope, and bandana that I just found wasn't worth the hassle. And then these are some extra for trekking pole attachment for my pack. I just put them in where the mesh side pocket with the water bottle holder, and it holds them just fine. So altogether, the package weighed, I think, 14 ounces. So you take away the box, maybe like 10 ounces for all this stuff. Big difference. Very helpful.
That's what chafing can do. Very painful.
Alright, had to make a video to show you guys this. So these are my old tech tips for my Black Diamond Alpine cork trekking poles. And one of them still had a tip on it, which I was able to take off very easily right now. That held up. Yeah, these carbide tips are great. But this one, at some point, I don't remember when, I just noticed it was missing. It broke off. You can still see the nub of it there. See the difference? It's missing, and so it snapped off somewhere, I guess, there-ish, and it's just been wearing down. You can see the length difference right here, and this is after probably 1,500 miles of AT hiking, and I probably did like 50 or something before the trail. So I got new tech tips, $10. Black Diamond or Amazon had them. They come with the carbide tips. So basically, to take them off here, you have to boil them. So you put these in the water for like 2 minutes in boiling water. So have that going right. I did that right there. But worked great. Used pliers, pulled them. They came off pretty easily. And then for these, they say you just put them on and then just stomp them a few times in the ground, and that's it. Oh, well, super proud of something else. So, for the longest while, I would store my spoon, like, in a Ziploc, and then I got rid of that, and then I would store it like this, but the end would stick out, and I would try to, like, put the lid on, but it wouldn't stay shut, and this would kind of open up in my bag, and this would, like, fall around and get all over the place. So I've been wanting a shorter one. So I got a metal file and I cut it right off. It was very easy. It's titanium. And then I filed it down so it's very smooth. Like, I'm not going to get cut by this. And it fits perfectly. And I can shut it and it doesn't even clang around. It just holds it there. So I am like thrilled. And I have to save a little bit of weight as a side benefit. But I am so happy about this. Well, got carried away with the file, and I filed off the whole spork part here and made it nice and smooth. So, because I really have no need for the fork part, the spoon's perfect. And kind of been wanting to do this, so perfect. I'm so happy. It's the little things. Well, cut off some pieces of the footprint, mainly the triangle piece that extended out to my vestibule. Just found that I didn't need it. Well, potentially risky move, but I cut the hip belt off of my Exos. I've been thinking about this and like hiking without using the hip belt, and I really didn't notice any comfort difference, and these would just keep me hot, and they would hold a lot of water, and they weigh a half pound dry. I don't really need the pockets. I just stuffed the extra stuff in this guy right here, which wasn't much. Snacks I'll put in there, plus I can put a little bit here. So I'm happy with this. Hey guys, so I am doing another permethrin treatment to my gear. I just applied it to everything, got my shoes, my tent, and pack, and jackets, and gear, and all that stuff. So I like it on my, so basically I don't want to get ticks, so I did that. And then on my tent, it's just so annoying when the bugs like fly around in here if you're like in your vestibule doing something, the headlamp at night especially. So, and it's helped. Like I've seen bugs once they touch like the grab onto the fabric, they'll just die and they'll just like fall off. Once this is all dry, I'm going to apply this stuff on my tent fly and my pack. I might also spray it on the lower section of my tent body. This is a Big Agnes copper spur. It's made out of nylon. It is waterproof, it works, but it really absorbs a lot of water. It's like heavy and it's wet. It's like significantly heavy. Like, I mean, it dries out really quick. I put it in the hot sun on a rock and I take a break, and in 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, it's totally dry. And it's, I would guess, like a pound lighter at least from the water. But I'd like to put this on and see how it works with just like water beating off. It'll just be a little nicer. The pack is nylon, so it absorbs a ton of water also. So like a significant amount of weight. It's a big difference, wet versus dry. So I'm gonna try it. All right, well here you get to see my great mapping skills. So I'm gonna show you kind of how I've done the trail visually. So we've got the southern terminus, Springer Mountain there, northern terminus, Mount Katahdin. You'll see where these like key points come in, but you know, Connecticut, that's home for me. Yeah, so I started Springer Mountain. January I started in Connecticut actually, and I did the Connecticut section going north. So I'll draw that in right there. That was like my shakedown hike, like, all right, do this. If you like it, you can do the whole AT basically, give me a taste. Then I went to Springer Mountain late February and went north to Roanoke, Virginia. And that took about 2.5 months. That's a third of the trail. So came home, and then I went to Mount Katahdin up in Maine, and I went south through the 100-mile wilderness to Monson, Maine. Came home again, then went to Gorham, New Hampshire, which is the Maine-New Hampshire border, and hiked north about 200 miles to Monson, Maine, like that. And then I came home again, and then I went to Gorham, New Hampshire, and went south, New Hampshire to Connecticut, like that. Then I came home again, and now I'm at home, and I'm going to go south from the Connecticut-New York border down to Roanoke, which is another third of the trail. So 2/3 done, a little bit under 1,500 miles done, about a little over 700 left. Yeah, so Connecticut section took me a week. This section took me 2.5 months. 100-mile wilderness took me about a week. Southern Maine took me about 3 weeks. And then New Hampshire, Vermont, Mass took me about a month. And then New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland should take me about 2 months. I'll be done in mid-December. So I opted to get Apple AirPods. These are something I've wanted for a while, and I think they'll be really good on the trail because I like listening to audiobooks or music or podcasts, and kind of nice to not have to deal with that cord because it'll get like caught and stuff, and you got to put it fasten it somewhere, and I can listen to one with just one and then have my other ear open to hear what's happening around me and not have a cord to deal with. So I think you get like 5 hours battery life on each of these, and then I think it's a battery charging case. I think it gives you like another 24 hours more, something like that. But really excited to try these out. I'll let you know how it goes. After all these changes, the base weight of my pack is just under 13 pounds, which I'm very proud of. I'm sure it'll even get lighter as I find more stuff to knock off as I keep going. That doesn't count the weight of the gear after I sprayed the permethrin and the waterproof coating on it. I'm sure that adds a more than negligible amount, but it does wear off over time, so that will gradually go out of my pack.